What is up, YouTube? Gotta make sure we don't run into these mountains down there. Look how beautiful they are. In case you're wondering what we're doing, today we're gonna be flying an RNAV approach starting at this waypoint Levis. It's a T approach, so we're gonna make a right-hand turn, fly past Urlas, and then at Vogup, we get to turn final and start our descent to Sikmu. We got a couple waypoints here, Xugla. I don't know how they come up with these names, and that's gonna put us on runway 16. Once we passed Vogup here, we can descend to 9,100 feet. We got a altitude check, 5,900 at that waypoint, and then 4,350 at Xugla. And we're gonna fly the constant descent angle for the LNAV approach today. That's gonna bring us down to 3,326, but actually we have to round that up. So 3,400 feet, brings us about 300 feet above the ground, and we need 1 mile visibility, which is not a problem today. Here's the missed approach instructions. Pretty much a novel there, so you can read that on your own time. And we have to be very careful because we have lots of terrain on both sections, or both, basically all quadrants of this airport, and we have to descend over those mountains. Those are those mountains you can see right there. So we're going to start fairly high, which isn't a problem because in a turboprop like this, we can kind of chop and drop and descend. If we want to descend at 3,000 feet per minute, we can do that. Here's our approach checklist, RATMO AGS. It's my approach briefing checklist. And because, like I said, we want to be well above our 25 nautical mile quadrant minimums. So we actually started this approach at 13,000 feet. And we're just coming over top of our first waypoint here right now at Levis. And the 25 nautical mile minimum here is 11,000 feet. In case you are wondering. So 11,000 feet is what you need in order to clear these mountains coming from this direction. And if you want to become a member of the YouTube channel, get access to so many more POV flying videos, more in-depth videos on my life as a contract pilot, as well as career advice for those aspiring pilots out there, then you can become a member. And it also goes to help support the channel so I can keep making videos like this one. And if it actually was IMC, which oftentimes it is, or at least you're flying through the clouds at this point, we'd probably start this approach a little further back. We'd maybe descend to maybe 1,000 feet above the minimum sector altitude of 11,000. Maybe we'd have started at 12,000 so that we're not descending as rapidly. But because we got great visibility, there's no real concern with a steeper descent rate. We can actually fly this approach a lot faster. We're at about 210 knots. If you haven't noticed already, this is a quite wide valley. A lot of the other mountain airports are much narrower, so you have to be a lot more careful and you don't want to make any mistakes, but this one's quite wide. And if you're wondering exactly where we are here, we've just crossed Levis. We're coming up on our next waypoint here, Urlas. You can see the step down altitudes there on the T part of this approach. I'm going to throw on the anti-collision lights as we go through 10,000. It's 10,000. We're actually safe down to 9,100 feet, and we can't quite see the airport yet. This is a long approach, so even a little bit of haze prevents you from seeing the runway even this far back. You can see our turn coming up here. Making sure everything is clear. Watch out for other airplanes that might be flying VFR, and we're going to let the autopilot make the turn here at Vogup. This is our turn for final, and then we can start following our step-down altitudes. Vogup, we can actually descend down to 9,100. We can even go lower if we wanted to, but we don't want to get too low too fast, burn more fuel the lower we are. So we're going to stay up high, try to keep it a fairly constant descent all the way to the runway. And like I was saying, we want to make sure we're keeping an outside scan going on because it's such a beautiful day that there's going to be, we do want to watch out for other VFR traffic that's flying in the valley, maybe not talking on the same frequency, because right now we're on the mandatory airport frequency, so there is, call it a controller there, but they can just, they can just provide traffic and weather and airport information, but they're not controlling anybody else. So in this valley, you could have VFR traffic flying around. So even though we are IFR, it's good to keep a scan outside the airplane to make sure that you stay clear of other traffic that's maybe not talking to the same frequency. You can see I'm a little bit left of track here, maybe about half dot, so I'm going to correct for that. And I'm actually going to turn the autopilot off and hand fly the rest of this approach. One, because it's a lot more fun, and two, because it's beautiful weather out. We don't really have to, you know, pilot workload is at a minimum right now. And as we fly along this approach too, I'm constantly making updates if I need to on the other traffic frequencies in the area, 126.7. I want to kind of be talking to both. I've managed to get myself back on track here. Things are looking good. We have our glide slope coming in here, but we're actually just going to fly to the minimums of the LNAV, VNAV. This is just for practice. Every once in a while I find it's good to practice not just flying LPVs all the time, but fly approaches that are step downs, just to make sure you don't forget how to do those. And like I said, this is a long approach, so if you're wondering why I haven't got the flaps and the gear and everything set up for landing, it's because we're going to stay fast on this approach, about 200 knots for now, and kind of expedite how fast we get to the FAF, the final approach fix. Beautiful valley down there. That's the Columbia River. Lots of lakes down there. Lots of cool stuff in this valley to explore. Cranbrook is the airport we're flying into, but Fairmont and Invermere and all those, well, lots of other cool places are just north in this valley. Absolutely beautiful in the summertime. And it does get pretty busy, but if you've ever flown into this part of Canada, you'll know there's lots of things to do, especially in the outdoors. And for those of you pilots that are really observant, you might have noticed that the fuel flow gauge here on the left side is not working correctly, but we do have digital gauges here on the left. One of the quirks of flying an airplane that was built back in the 1980s. Every single airplane has its little nuances. Everything's feeling good, and update you here on the chart. We're actually coming up to Sikmu. We have an altitude check of 5,900 feet. Because we're on the constant descent angle, we're going to cross that waypoint exactly at that altitude as we're descending. And I'm going to call the mandatory frequency, let the controller know that we are at that waypoint and that we are going to be landing. It's going to be a full stop landing. We're still going to keep the speed up, about 200 knots. And when we get to the FAF at Xugla, if that's how you say it, then we'll start slowing the airplane up, get the flaps, get the gear, get everything set up for landing. We're going to bring the props up here, up to 1900 RPM. Prop sync is obviously off. And because I adjusted the power, we're going to start slowing up a little bit. Our next waypoint at Xugla, we have an altitude check of 4350. And once we're through 175 knots or below 175, we can get our first stage of flap. And there's the runway straight ahead. If you didn't see the runway there, then that'd be a problem. Obviously did something wrong. We're going to throw the landing gear down. Usually I like to wait till about 160 knots before I get the landing gear down. The max is 175. And with the gear coming down, it's going to help us slow up even more. You can see on the terrain there on the Garmin G600, it's starting to show up. And as we cross Xugla, we want to be at 4350 on our constant descent angle, the CDA we call it. That waypoint's coming up right now. Runway is in sight. Things are feeling good. I'm actually surprised it's not that bumpy, because usually we get a fair bit of turbulence in here, especially on a clear day, but it is a bit earlier morning, so not a lot of convection yet. I can tell the controller that we are almost short final now. It's going to be a full stop landing. Should be touching down in about 1.5 minutes. All right, below 145 knots, we can get one more stage of flap. Everything is stable. We're slowing up to about 125, 130 knots. Gears down, everything's feeling good. And I'm just going to turn on the taxi light rather than the landing lights. And here's something really important when you're flying an IFR approach like this. Obviously, we have our LPV minimums and our LNAV minimums down here. The LPV obviously gets us a little bit lower, but how we fly this is totally different. The LPV takes us down to a decision height where we immediately overshoot. The LNAV VNAV, we actually descend to that altitude and then hold that altitude until we cross the runway waypoint, which is where we would start the overshoot procedure. So something to take note of there. Now we're gonna get ready to land here, so I want to do my BB gumps, check belts, brakes, gear, undercarriage. Make sure the landing gear is down, gas, mixtures, props, switches. Everything is looking good. And runway looks clear. Don't see any deer or moose or bears or anything on the runway. That's very important. No flock of birds. I've hit birds before. Do our short final check, gear, props, flaps. We have notified the controller that we're going to land. It's not a controlled airport, and the landing gear is down. I'm aiming for about 105 knots here as we come over the runway threshold. And this part here of the runway you do not want to land on. You can use that for takeoff, but we want to make sure we land beyond those markings right there. Over the numbers here, set the power. We always land with a little bit of power and just fly the airplane down. Try to make it silky smooth. Beautiful. Nice and smooth landing. And because this is a long runway, you can get away with kind of flying the airplane down, try to make it as silky smooth as possible. Obviously, no brakes required because we got beta. Props are pretty fat out there. These are 3-blade props. Don't create as much drag as the 4-blade props, but still enough that you don't have to use brakes. I'm going to exit the runway here and then find a place to park, which is basically anywhere on the ramp that is unoccupied by another airplane. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, if you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Little cheers to all the new viewers. And if you're curious on what it's like to become a pilot, what the process is, how to get your first aviation job, then I've got videos on my channel that you can check out to help get you started. Absolutely love and appreciate all the support, everybody. So we'll catch you on the next adventure. Happy and safe flying, everybody. Cheers.